Level 2, this is SportsRage. I'm Morency. So the NBA is actually somewhat smart and taking not taking a night off on Thursday and going head-to-head with the Sweet 16. The NHL figures, hey, why not? We'll do it. But overnight here, Paul, the Boston Celtics, who have blown a couple of big leads this year, actually. It'll be interesting to see how they respond here. Playing a massive number against the Atlanta Hawks, 16 points, total 227.5. And the Milwaukee Bucks are 2-point road favorites against the Pelicans. Total is 224 in that game. What do you think of the NBA card?
Well, it's very limited. I actually looked towards Friday, and I have a few plays for Friday, but I might look to the Pelicans team total over. I'm not sold on Milwaukee's defense, but looking out to Friday, and by the way, on that Celtic game, look, Atlanta just came back from a huge deficit to beat the Celtics, but this is a ridiculous number. I don't lay those numbers in the NBA. You're absolutely insane if you do it. Maybe you do it in the first half, but it's the span of these players in the minute, they're not focused on covering your number. So it's best to look elsewhere. So as far
all right, hold on. So it's just if Paul Bovey kicking with us. If you guys could stop talking every second, he can't. When you just mumble, he can't hear anything. It just interrupts him. Just hit refresh, Paul, if you can, for us. Paul, you got to collect call on the other line.
Yeah, that's right. Collect call from Manila. That's right. That was good.
Paul's got to collect call on the other line. All right, we'll get Paul Bovey back in a second here. We had George Kurtz. Shout out to everyone joining us on Sirius XM. So, what do you got, Paul?
Okay, so I do like Charlotte, and I cover the reasons why. I think they'll give Golden State a tussle. You've got the Lakers taking on the Pacers. Lakers had kind of a sketchy game tonight against Memphis. They actually lost the lead, came on late, win the game by 12. And I think the Lakers and Indy will go over the number. These teams scored 295 last time, 138 combined paint points. In the first game, the three-point shooting was really inadequate, and they only scored, I think it was 232. But I think this game goes over the number. I would lean to Phoenix, and I would also lean to the Rockets. Not early. They may come out a little lethargic like they did the other night. They were actually trailing into the third quarter, and they ended up winning the game handily. But I don't think this is a team that's going to be derailed by Utah, and I think the Rockets will continue to win. You'll get a reasonable number because they are on the road playing the Jazz in Salt Lake. So I'm going to go with the Rockets again, probably laying 7 on the road, but I think they're going to get a comfortable win.
Lakers are balling, man. D'Angelo Russell is balling. He is a free agent, so he's picking a good time to do this. But they're killing it right now. They're going to be a dangerous team to play in the playoffs. The Lakers. I believe this all along.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not like the LeBron factor. AD is a monster, and you see D'Angelo Russell can give you 29, 30 points. Austin Reeves, can give you 25, whatever. Like, they got multiple dudes that can beat you. They got a ton of size. They're going to get calls. They take it to the rack a lot and stuff. So I think the Lakers are going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. 52-49 Phoenix right now. So, Paul, we'll get you out of here in a minute here. But San Diego State, the rematch against UConn. Listen, San Diego State, they absolutely drilled Yale. I was on Yale plus the points. I was surprised how that game played out. Whatever. It was one of those games where it was like there was a lid on the bucket for Yale, man. Right? They were under the basket. They were missing slam dunks. It was just one of those. I don't know if they celebrated. They were so happy to beat Auburn. They couldn't get up again, whatever it was. But I think San Diego State are in trouble here, dude. UConn had their way with them last year. I really don't see what's going to be different this time around. I was talking about UConn being a covering machine. What do you think about the Aztecs and the Huskies on the way out?
I just think they're in a different class, and Utah is going to blow them out. Look, San Diego State barely got by the Miners. They did cover. The dog did, but San Diego State wins the game by 4. And then last week, as you mentioned, I don't know what happened to Yale, but they fell apart. And I think San Diego State is overvalued right now. And I think UConn's going to win this game handily, comfortably, wire to wire, and going away.
Paul Bovey. Good stuff, Paul. Take the collect call on the other line. Yeah. I think it's Otani's bookie calling you.
Well played. That's amazing.
All right.
Have a good one, Paul.
Good to see you, Paul.
Okay, guys. Take care, guys.
That was great. Collect call.
There's Otani's bookie on Paul's line.
Exactly.
And, calling him in Manila.
Yep.
Our friend Renee Paquette, actually, I saw. I didn't see it live. I saw the clip after, but what's the wrestler's name? There's a Japanese dude. I'm sure there's a few Japanese dudes, but there's a popular Japanese dude in the WWE. I don't really watch Monday Night Raw, so I don't know his name. What's his name? Japanese WWE wrestlers. He's a pretty big guy. He's the guy that flies around everywhere. He's pretty good.
Yeah, kind of like Japanese Rey Mysterio. He's got a lot of hops.
He's good. He's popular. Like he's been around. But anyway, she asked him. She said, "Do you have any involvement with Shohei Ohtani and Miyazaki? Like what? Like." She said, "Is it true?" Like it was all serious. She said, "Is it true the reports that you were involved with the gambling scandal?" And he played it up, and he goes, "I told you, I speak no English," and he walked away.
He actually put it in the plot.
That's no English. He's like, no English.
So
because he speaks English all the time. This guy, but he's like, suddenly he clammed up, like, "Oh no, I'm guilty." Like,
that's amazing.
I like. Yeah, thank you. Here's a guy in our chat, Ron Fig. Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura. See, I wouldn't have known that. If I see the guy, I'd be like, yeah, that's the guy there, the guy in the WWE. He's good. He flies around. Like you said, very, that flying Rey Mysterio type stuff. But it was a good bit. It was a good bit to have. All right, so George Kurtz, speaking of baseball, the Dodgers are in action tomorrow against the St. Louis Cardinals. 55-52 right now for the Phoenix Suns over the Denver Nuggets. And I'm not getting in front of the Nuggets here, Cam. I personally think now is a good time to get in on the Nuggets at minus 125 on the money line.
Very good price. That's the thing. Like, what's the point? If you're going to take Phoenix, you needed to take them before at a big dog price, but now there's really, it's Nuggets or nothing, right? Because what the line even tells you so. Sure, Phoenix might win the game, but you're not getting any value on it. So, if you like Denver, get clicking.
It's minus 115 right now. I don't think Phoenix are going to win the game. I think the Denver Nuggets are going to come back and win. It's minus 115. The total is 223.5 now.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the review that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance.
That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
It does look like they're looking for a buyout here or a payoff here, trying to get in with DraftKings here, which does make some sense. And we're seeing this a lot with some of these smaller companies.
RSI selling Bet Rivers essentially would be really interesting. They have a bunch of Latin American companies that are countries that are ramping up that they're going to be profitable in. They're profitable now, even with their smaller stake.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smart team.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Wicked Wednesday continues. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're at the half right now in the Mile High City. Phoenix Suns up 59-52 on the Denver Nuggets. So the Nuggets are now plus 125. Phoenix are minus 155. The total is 223 and a half. And the Spurs are up 111-103 over the Utah Jazz. Total 230 and a half right now. All right, so no NHL hockey this evening. We do have East Coast Hockey League action going on. The Idaho Steelheads are up 5-2 on the Utah Grizzlies right now. 9 minutes left in this game, and there's a bunch of AHL hockey. And I saw the Newfoundland Growlers were playing earlier this evening. Mm-hmm. It's all coming back to me now. I remember last year I was betting this stuff a lot. The Orlando Solar Bears, the Newfoundland Growlers. I think it's nearly here. I don't know. I don't think it's the playoffs quite yet, but I think we're getting here now with the East Coast Hockey League playoffs. And as I brought up earlier, the Frozen Four games, they start in the afternoon tomorrow. So if you're betting the Frozen Four, it's time to get in. Let's bring in George Kurtz right now, who should be watching the Frozen Four. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. See if he'll expand his palate. He claims to love hockey. What's going on, Kurtz? How you doing?
I'm doing well, tomorrow afternoon got opened up a little bit, right? Because we lost a couple of baseball games to rainouts here. So, yeah, I would normally watch anyway, but...
That's what opened up your afternoon, that there was the Mets game has been rained out?
That's right. Mets lost the Phillies, so we lost the early game, right? There's no baseball until 3 o'clock.
You're still right, though, Morency. It's like this first game of the year.
His kids, they're like aware. He's like, oh, there's baseball rained out. My day's opened up.
Yeah, my day's opened up. That's Kurt.
So you would watch the Met game? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Opening day.
I don't understand though. But I always say this though. It's like people that say, like you ask them, I'm a big football fan. And you'll ask them, all right, do you watch the XFL? No. Do you watch the USFL? No. Do you watch the CFL? No. No, but I'm a big football fan though. It's like, no, you're an NFL fan, not a football fan. It's the same thing like MMA, where a lot of people, I'm an MMA fan. No, you're not. You're a jackass, tattoo, loudmouth, UFC, WWE type fan, right? You like it when, you know what I mean? You're not an MMA fan. You're not watching Bellator. You're not watching, all the other companies, right? You only watch UFC. But it's the same thing sort of with hockey, I see. But the Frozen Four's popularity is growing, but Do you watch college hockey at all, George? Like, it's on TV quite a bit now. Do you? It's hockey. You like hockey, so do you watch it when you see it?
Yeah, what I meant by my afternoons opened up is that TVs have opened up. Okay, I have 6 TVs here in my den. If baseball was playing all,
yes, we know what you meant.
If there was 7 baseball games, I'd be watching 7 baseball games. All right, baseball first. Now there's only 1 baseball game, so yes, I have TVs to watch hockey now, and it will be on. At least the TVs I can get it on. It may have opened up more. It's not on. I have to find it. I know where to find NHL hockey. Go to ESPN Plus. I can find every game. And ESPN Plus is good for college hockey as well. But it's a little tougher to find it. You have to search for hockey.
Yeah, but you do watch the World Juniors and stuff, right? You know, you get it on the NHL Network.
Right into it.
So you'll watch, you know what I mean? But the one thing is you are an NHL fan, and the NCAA Frozen Four, unlike before, like, you know, whatever, it just sort of was a novelty act before. It was cool or whatever. But now, dude, like, we were going over this last night with Andrew McInnes. There's like 5 players, George, that are in the top 7 of the NHL draft that have either been taken in the top 5. Like, a good example is Celebrini is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft in the NHL draft. He's playing in this tournament. Like, Will Smith is playing in this tournament. You know, Boston College. We were talking about Ryan Leonard. There's just so many of these players that are like future NHL stars. The level of hockey is just so good. And plus, you can bet on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think to tell you that, I guess the funniest thing about me, the closest I came to playing a NCAA men's basketball tournament was talking to you guys. What was it, last Wednesday, I guess? That was the closest I came to playing a bracket. I do have a bracket in men's hockey. All right, a friend of mine runs a thing, so I join that every year.
Oh, you played a Frozen Four bracket?
I played a Frozen Four bracket, yeah.
Who'd you take to win?
Basketball bracket. Minnesota. I took Minnesota to win.
Oh. The Golden Gophers. Wow.
Yeah.
Very, that surprises me, Kurtz, because they weren't the favorites.
Nope.
You're thinking outside the box. Those are the,
I think I did
those are just to make the,
there.
yeah. Here, like, yeah. Like, what in Minnesota, 9-1?
Yeah.
I'm actually rolling the dice. I'm rolling the dice that Minnesota's going to lose their first game, actually.
Oh, thanks.
And, yeah, no, listen, George, I'm no expert, bro. It's not like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you what I'm betting on. I'm just saying that I looked at this and I'm like, you know what? I think we're live here. Yeah, I'm taking Nebraska-Omaha. Nebraska-Omaha plus 180 against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Omaha have won like 17 of their last 18 games. They're all smoking hot. The Big Ten is super good, but I can't really justify laying minus 230 in a hockey game that's going to be somewhat of a toss-up. The total is 5.5 in that game. The first game up is Denver, the Pioneers, against UMass. I think Denver are going to beat UMass. And sorry, Tommy, I do think the Rochester Institute of Technology are going down to Boston University. But Boston U are like minus 500 favorites, so you got to do minus 148 parlay them together. Cornell and Maine, man, that's a complete toss-up.
Yeah, that's close to a pick-em.
Maine are minus 140. Cornell are plus 110. The total is 5.5. So like I said, the first game is up at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And for people tuning in, this is nice parlay material leading into the Sweet 16 of basketball as well. So like a good example is here, let's see. So Boston University's minus 500. Let's throw in like UConn. All right, we need one more. Here we go. North Carolina. Yeah, Boston University to win, UConn to win, North Carolina to win, plus 105.
I like that.
I'd like better odds, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Wow,
UConn
Boston
are 11-point favorites.
Gabe, minus 800 versus Michigan Tech. That's a big number. Minus 2.5, minus 150. Yikes. It's a lot. That's
I will bring up Denver are the highest scoring team in the country. That's why their total is 6.5 against UMass, and I wouldn't be betting on the under there. So the order of the games tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, UMass and Denver. Denver minus 245, UMass plus 195, total is 6.5. Denver minus 1.5 on the puck line, plus 100. Rochester, big underdogs against Boston University. Boston U minus 500, total 6.5 there. Rochester Institute of Technology are getting 2.5 goals at minus 130. Cornell and Maine, close game. Maine minus the Black Bears minus 140. Total 5.5. And Nebraska Omaha plus 180 against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Total 5.5. Michigan Tech plus 450. Boston College minus 700 on Friday afternoon. Western Michigan and Michigan State. Michigan State minus 270. The defending champions, Quinnipiac, are a pick'em with Wisconsin. Total 5.5. And my Michigan Wolverines plus 100 against North Dakota. And if Michigan State and Michigan both win, they're going to play each other. And you just know that's going to happen. So a Michigan to win and Michigan State to win parlay is plus 174, Cam.
Not bad. That's a tough game for Michigan. Though. Now, you got North Dakota. What are they, minus 130 in that game? That's not that. That's tough for Michigan, man. That's a tough matchup. Very tough.
Yeah, they're all tough. Like there's no easy matchup now when you're down to the final 16. Really. The only thing is, you know what I mean? Like the one side of the bracket is a little bit harder. Michigan aren't the team to beat, though. I mean, listen, Michigan are plus 1,400. Michigan can score goals, but they give up a lot of goals.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the movie that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance. That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
It does look like they're looking for a buyout here or a payoff here, trying to get in with DraftKings here, which does make some sense. And we're seeing this a lot with some of these smaller companies.
RSI selling Bet Rivers essentially would be really interesting. They have a bunch of Latin American companies that are countries that are ramping up that they're going to be profitable in. They're profitable now, even with their smaller stake.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smart team.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the Pittsburgh Players, Hustlers, and people to bust them, and everybody else in between. We're fired up. As I stated earlier, tomorrow is probably the biggest Thursday of sports action ever when you consider you've got the Sweet 16, Major League Baseball. You got the Major League Baseball opening day. You've got the Sweet 16 all colliding at once. It's just it's over the top. You got the women's tournament going on over through the weekend, so it's a great sports day tomorrow. Thursday as well is everything about Major League Baseball is strange though. I don't know, like there's no rhyme or reason. I tweeted out earlier, Kurtz, about the NHL and their stupid schedule all the time. Whatever, dude. They have a bunch of games, and then they have 2 games, they have no games, and it never makes any sense what they do. And now we got the Mets. You know, why would the Mets play at home to start the season? They're always rained out. Like the Yankees are on the road. Like it makes no sense. Like all the dome teams should play. Like they really should do a better job of this. But my big thing isn't so much about, all right, like screw their TV ratings. Like whatever. It's not going to change very much whatever anything is playing anyways. If people are going to watch what they're going to watch. But how many games tomorrow in the National Hockey League are going head-to-head with their local baseball team? Like who's playing in the NHL tomorrow? That are playing, like who's playing at home tomorrow? Like are the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Penguins.
The Pirates play at home tomorrow, right?
Penguins play with Jackets.
Pirates are on the road in Miami, but yeah, say at 4 o'clock. That one doesn't. That's early.
They're going to Miami.
I'm thinking about
the Panthers play at home tomorrow, so the Marlins and Panthers are going against each other.
See, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you're the NHL too, like, why put fans and sports fans in that bind? Where it's like, I want to watch the Sweet 16 game, but like Major League, like, why would Major League Baseball pick the damn day of Sweet 16 basketball to have opening day? And why is Major League Baseball picking Thursday, Kurtz, to have opening day? It's never on Thursday. Like, what's
the last few years now? They keep because they start the season earlier and earlier. It's March 28th. I mean, because they don't want to shorten the season. They don't want to play the World Series at the deep November, and so they got to get everything in here. So they started earlier and earlier. I mean, remember, come on, it was always the first week in April, and maybe not April 1, the first full week in April. So it is what it is. As far as hockey is concerned, E.J. Raddick was funny. I was thinking of your tweet today because E.J. Raddick on NHL tonight was trying to explain why the NHL has 2 games on a Wednesday and 18 games on Thursday and Tuesday. He was like, well, teams want to play home on Saturday. You're not going to get 2 home games in a row. So that's why Thursday and Saturday you're at home. And it made no sense what he said. To me, it's always because TNT has the national on Wednesday. So they don't want competition. They want 1 game, maybe 2 if they're going to cover both. And that's it. And that's why we only have 1 or 2 games on Wednesday and 18 on Tuesday, 18 on Thursday.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's good if, like, for people like us that aren't there, they're just going to sit back and watch and bet all day on this stuff. But, like, even the Frozen Four, like, is it really, like, the best idea? Like, I mean, you're like, all right, guys, why don't we have our regionals the same time that the basketball does? You'd be like, no, how about we don't do that? How about we just do it, like, 2 days after, 2 days before? Like, I get it. It's counter programming. But like I said, there's going to be a collision of sports tomorrow to bet on with NHL hockey. Major League Baseball is back. And, of course, the Sweet 16 and the Frozen Four as well. All kinds of stuff going on tomorrow. So Baltimore and the Angels are the first ones up. Baltimore, the number's going to go up in this game. Everyone's going to bet on the Baltimore Orioles here. The Orioles are minus 190 right now. Patrick Sandoval goes for the Angels. He got lit up in spring, right? Like he was 0-3 with a 7.15 earned run average. It wasn't pretty. He got crushed. But incidentally, Kurtz, Corbin Burns got lit up in spring as well. So I don't know. I'll ask you, how much stock do you put in pitchers' spring training performances coming into opening day?
Not veterans. Veterans, I truly do believe they're just trying to get their work in. They don't care. They're trying, they're going golfing after the game or during the game so they get out of there. So, no, I don't care about Burns got lit up. I don't care. I really don't care about Sandoval got lit up either. Another veteran pitcher here. Youngsters, I care. Guys who are fighting for a rotation spot, sure, I care. Guys coming back from injury, I care. Anybody else, I really don't. I'm on the Orioles, of course, tomorrow, too. The Angels are a bad, bad team.
Yeah, it's a big price.
Doesn't the total
Cam?
seem light? Yeah, it is a big price. 7.5.
Yes,
I don't
it's
know,
light.
man.
Yeah, it's light. Baltimore are going to score like 7 runs on their own.
Yeah, that total's.
There's going to be a ton of runs.
8.5. That's too low.
I think though. I think one of the reasons why the total is 7.5 due to the weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be rainy, and you know what I mean. Like it's not. People always think though when it's weather like that, then it's going to go under the number, which I can kind of buy into. I get it. The ball doesn't travel as much, so it's not going to be nice weather. But the total does feel light for that game at 7.5, and the total is also 7.5 for Detroit and Chicago. What are you doing with that game, Kurtz, with the Tigers and the White Sox?
Certainly not going to be on the White Sox here. I think Detroit's going to be a sneaky good team this year. The White Sox are bad. They might be. I don't know if they're Colorado Rockies bad, but they might be worse than Oakland. I mean, they're that bad.
But it's the home opener. It doesn't mean they're going to get blown out.
Is that the public parlay, Gabe, that goes to die? Baltimore and Detroit early.
I don't know if I can do a parlay with Detroit. I don't know if I can go that far.
Yeah, one of them.
Detroit can't hit either. I mean, I like Green. You think about bad weather in Chicago in March. I mean, it's going to be cold there too. Ball's not going to travel very well, even in that ballpark here. Still, I like the Detroit Tigers to win. You're not going to see me bet on the Chicago White Sox all that much.
Cam, what are you doing with that game?
I don't know. To be honest with you, Gabe, Crochet, we talked about it yesterday. Bullpen guy starting. Skubal's getting a lot of hype, but it's the first game of the year. Do I really want to be doing this right now? And then I'm worried about if I do take Baltimore and Detroit. The parlay's nice at plus 147. One of them's going to screw up. I don't know what to do. Maybe Detroit run line. They're on the road.
I would take the Tigers in the first 5 with Skubal. And then you don't have to worry about anything after that. Because the bullpens, things could get away from them. Here's another one, too. It's 7.5, where it's like, okay. You know what I mean? Like Chicago, I mean, this thing could implode on them. You know, it's tough to win it under when you're betting 7.5. The Twins and the Royals, that total is 8. What are you doing with that game, Kurtz? This game is more of a pick'em.
This game is more big. I mean, everyone thinks Cole Regan's going to be the left-handed Jacob deGrom. That's what he's being compared to for the Royals here. And I think they're right, by the way. I think he is going to be that good. I just wonder if they're going to baby him. I think this is another one where you want to get to the
That's
bullpen.
pretty. It's a little excessive, though, Jacob deGrom.
Well, I mean, but that's the comparison.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Jacob
deGrom's the best stats ever.
Yeah.
I think it's a game I would like. I think it's a great in-game betting opportunity if the Royals can get up early, get up 1-0, 2-1, because the Royals bullpen is not good. I think that's where Minnesota can take advantage of. So I like to see the Royals get up early, then hit Minnesota hard in-game.
Cam, this is the Cam Stewart special. You're going to take they're only plus 100. You're not getting any value. They're plus 100.
I got plus 106, Gabe, on my book here. That extra 6 cents of value here with the Royals. Yeah, why not a little Royale with cheese to start off the season? But George is right. They could take a lead and probably a heartbreaking loss at the end. Might be a first 5 play, but I'm taking the Royals. Give me the Royals at home opener. Let's rock.
I'll pass on this game. I'm not. I don't see any angle here. One side or the other.
It really isn't.
Not really a great. It's a tricky card. You look at the numbers
really
are pretty accurate to me. You got these totals at 7.5 here. I do think the Orioles will win the game. I wouldn't lay that much with the Tigers. I wouldn't lay minus 185 with the Tigers. I'll pass on the Twins and the Royals. Your Yankees, Kurtz, versus the Houston Astros. You've got Cortez versus Valdez. Astros are minus 150 in the Dome. What's your take for this one?
Listen, if you're a Yankee fan, you know what Houston is. It's a nightmare. Playing the Astros in Houston hasn't been good for the Yankees pretty much forever here. Valdez has been a problem. They haven't been able to hit him. As much as I like Juan Soto, I don't know if he's going to be able to help against Valdez, lefty on lefty there. And you throw in Cortez. And let's face it, no one knows what Cortez is going to do. He was good 2 years ago. He was terrible last year. He's been hurt. I mean, I sort of think he sold his soul 2 years ago to be that good. Now he's back to the picture where he is, a number 5 starter here. I'm on Houston. I think it's a good price on Houston, minus 150. I'll take that. The Astros are a good team, and they've been the Yankees' killer in Houston. Yankees can't beat them there.
Astros minus 150. Pittsburgh Pirates, team I've been talking about, liking their win total to the over. this year. People were wondering about what was going to happen with Paul Skeens, the LSU Tiger pitching phenom. He's going to start off the season at AAA. And similar to the dude in Baltimore, in which the Baltimore players basically said, well, he should be on the team, but it's a business decision. I don't really have a problem with it because the players, it is what it is, right? We all know this. I mean, some teams will, it's a little bit different, I guess. Some teams will sometimes, you know what I mean, Kurt? It's like San Diego brought Soto up early, right? They didn't screw around like with the extra month to get the year service. But it is a business, and the players exercise their right to free agency. And if they could figure out a loophole, they would do it as well. But what I find interesting, and I didn't really realize, is so basically, like if you're a star player, you're a kid coming up, and you don't start the season on the roster, they get an extra year service from you. They just call you up in May, and they burn you. You have to wait another year for free agency. But if you finish in the top 2 for Rookie of the Year voting, you get the year of service back. That's a cool little twist that the Players Association got thrown in there.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the movie that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance. That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
It does look like they're looking for a buyout here or a payoff here, trying to get in with DraftKings here, which does make some sense. And we're seeing this a lot with some of these smaller companies.
RSI selling Bet Rivers essentially would be really interesting. They have a bunch of Latin American companies that are countries that are ramping up that they're going to be profitable in. They're profitable now, even with their smaller stake.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the
All
rim.
I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smarte.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency, the Pistol Players, also some people to bust them, and everybody else in between the Wicked Wednesday. We're going to hit the Sweet 16 and Level 3 with Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano, stepping up and in. George Kurtz in the house with us. Yo. I thought it was me. Well, I didn't really. Like the band, the police said, Ghost in a Machine. We apologize for any technical difficulties there. I was just cracking up. Phoenix, it's Phoenix 71-68 right now. Jokic just steamrolled the dude on Phoenix in the paint. and he got the call, actually, after the fact. And even the guys on Phoenix, they didn't complain, but they just sort of looked like, what are you going to do? Right? Like the NBA is the one league where you're done. Like when you're dealing with a star player, you're not going to get the call. He's going to get the call, and it's going to happen over and over. Look, Devin Booker's bitching right now. Well, he bitches all the time, though, so that's not a shock.
Guy starts fighting with mascots. So that's yes.
But I knew Devin, like the Phoenix Suns sort of all looked and like had a face.
Yeah.
Booker couldn't help himself. Booker had to start talking to the ref on the way down the court, but even I'm laughing. I got Denver, too. And even I'm like, damn, man, like, come on. That's charging. That's like, you can't just knock the guy over like Jokic just did. But I guess you can when you're the MVP and you're the champ. We got a fun game going on. Good game. Kevin Durant just hit a shot. George Kurtz with us. I want to get to this. Kurtz, you saw this online. And it really is crazy. Like I said, I never watched the show Adam 12. Growing up before, like I said, it was in the late 60s, Adam 12. It's kind of, it looks old and stuff, right? And the scripts are kind of primitive, but it's on MeTV. And I watch a lot of MeTV. And so, it's on in the background, and I watch a couple episodes. And I'm like, you know what? This show actually isn't bad. So I'm watching Adam 12, and I'm like, man, and it just hits me. I'm like, this is crazy how much this guy is Tom Brady. Like, it's absolute insanity. Like, it's almost like Tom Brady, where we learn now why Tom Brady is like, he was so successful for so long. He's probably a vampire that's lived forever. Like, he's lived multiple lives. There's Tom Brady on TV as a policeman in the 60s.
Wow. McCord does look like Brady, man. That's wild.
Look at him.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I miss Dead
You
Ringers.
can't get
One of my favorites.
You can't get any more. Like, it's amazing.
Wow.
Like now, whenever I watch the show, I'm always thinking like, yeah, Tom Brady's a cop. It throws me off. Like I can't help but think about Tom Brady all the time when I watch this show.
He's in your nightmares. He's in your shows.
He beat my Bills forever. Now I watch. But like it throws me off when I watch. Like every time they show him, and he's on all the time on the show, I'm like, damn, this guy looks like Tom Brady. Like it's crazy. And we've got another dead ringer. This one is actually me. I didn't want to show this because I wasn't happy with my performance. My second fight will be much better. So I've been moonlighting. I've been training behind the scenes, mixed martial arts. Always want to get into the cage. I've been doing some backyard brawls, scrapyard. So here was my debut over the weekend.
I am dangerous. I'm 58 years old. I represent dangerous martial arts. Let's do this! I am dangerous!
Counter. That guy in out.
Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Let's go! Round one! Right here! Right here! Position first. Posture up. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
The best. Yes! The refs in denim. It's amazing. I love it. Scrapyard.
See, no hard feelings after the fight.
17 seconds in, we got your winner by KO.
Yeah, things will go better for me the next time. Like, Buddy tried like to roll in, do some sort of weird takedown. And you hear him at the end, he goes, yeah, I had to try to do something silly and stuff. It's like, what do you think? It's a video game? Like, Buddy tried to, like, hurl through, like, you see, he tried to do, like, a kick and a sweep rollover, some takedown that, like, Bruce Lee wouldn't be able to pull off. But God bless him, representing dangerous MMA. Shout out to the Scrapyard. That was some good stuff. I was wondering why my Twitter blew up this morning. And I had all these people asking me, Morency, are you okay? You got beat up in a fight, and I didn't know you were fighting and stuff. I was like, I don't know what the hell these people are talking about. And then they sent me the video, and I saw him like, yeah, damn. Yeah, I could see why people, I could pass for that guy. And things probably would have went about the same for me as well. I would have ended up on my back getting punched in the head.
Tough. You're actually darker, though, Morency. That guy's got, he was more like, you have a little bit of a tan. That guy was pretty white. Like, he was powdery. Like he was.
That guy gives me a run for my money as far as all right.
You're powder. Exactly.
I like how he said his name is Dangerous. What's your name? Dangerous. Dangerous to yourself. As a 58-year-old man, you probably shouldn't be. Fighting any more backyard brawls.
You look good at 58.
Anymore.
I'll give him that. God bless.
He's got energy. Looks like a fun guy to go have a beer with too. Definitely the type of
trouble.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that, Kurt. Definitely the type of guy, though, you're going to have a couple beers, and he's going to start fights with people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you think you're tough? I'm 58. I'll kick your ass. Hey, you want to pick on an old man? Let's go. I know MMA.
I don't like those type of friends in bars. It's like, we just came here for a drink. Now I got to fight because you lipped off at some guy. It's not cool. No,
so what do you say, George? You think that a 58-year-old bald guy that's fighting children in backyards would be trouble in a bar?
Yes. Hey, I'm older than you. All right, so we all know guys like that. So I still know friends like that. Like, oh God, a couple of drinks and away we go. Lord knows what's going to happen. I can't say you try to avoid that. That's interesting at 28, not so much at 58.
No.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's a great video, though. This guy, it's gone viral. He's got a big pop today. People love him though. People love his attempted takedown. Like he's even got fighters telling him, dude, like don't do that. It was too good, though. And you got to love somebody having fun. And, hey, listen, he didn't get hurt. When I was a kid, my grandfather put, like, ropes around the trees and stuff. Just bought, like, 4 boxing gloves. Me and my buddies used to just beat the crap out of each other. No headgear or anything like that.
Exactly.
That explains some things.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
really like haymakers too, like boom, like down and like coming out. My grandmother would come out like nowadays she'd be like, whoa, hey, this is crazy. In those days, my grandmother would come out with like chopped egg salad sandwich and like lemonade. Here you go, boys. Like we were punching each other. Thanks, Grandma. Drink some lemonade and bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
I should be a better boxer now.
And Jose Bautista.
Yeah. I should be better boxer now than I am after that experience. Phoenix 79-68 over Denver right now with $1:50 left in the third quarter. Denver were coming back. Props to Phoenix for popping this thing back up a little bit. So Kurtz is betting against his own Yankees, taking the Houston Astros. Pittsburgh Pirates. I do like the Pirates this year, but I'm not in love with them here tomorrow in the opener here against Luzardo. It's Luzardo versus Keller. Pirates are plus 115. Marlins are minus 135. The total is 7.5. Here's a good pitching matchup here. Yu Darvish versus Logan Webb. Logan Webb is my dark horse to win the Cy Young in the National League at 12-1. Webb is minus 105. San Diego is minus 115. The total is 7.5. What do you think of this one, Kurtz, considering Darvish already has a start under his belt?
Yeah, right now I have no bets on this. I leaned San Fran in this game. Well, I think it's pretty much what they're both minus 108 on my card here. Good game. I'm curious as well here. I lean San Fran. I want to see what their offense can do. I want to see what all these new players can do. Chapman, Sola, Lee. Especially want to see what Lee looks like. Darvish didn't have a great year last year, but I think he's going to turn it around this year. Not Cy Young turnaround, but I think he's going to be back to the pitcher he used to be. So low-scoring game. I'm not going to take the 7.5 either, but this around 4-3 does sound like the right score. Lean Giants.
Cam, what's your pick for the Giants in San Diego?
I like the Giants. I lean Giants with Webb, and I do like the Pirates, Gabe, with Keller against Luzardo. I know Luzardo's good, but I think the Pirates could be a nice dog at plus 116.
I'll play the under 7.5 with Webb and Darvish. Like I said, I like the fact Darvish looked good against the Dodgers. He got into some jams, but he got out of them. I think he will have a good year, like George just said, and I know Logan Webb's going to deal here, so I'll go under the 7.5 in this game. Then we got the Cardinals and the Dodgers, another pitcher that already pitched, and Glasnow's a stud, right? He looked great in spring training. He was dominant. He pitched like a no-hitter through 6 innings at 5 1/3 or whatever in his last spring training start. He looked solid last week. He wasn't perfect, but he looked good last week against San Diego in the real start. And here the Dodgers are minus 245. So the challenge, Kurtz, already begins with the Dodgers and their heavy price that we talk about. Dude, it's you got to put them in a parlay. You're going to play them on the run line. Or you're going to take the Cardinals. What are you going to do?
Plenty of parlay spots tomorrow night. Plenty of parlay spots. Put them with Cleveland against Oakland. How about Arizona against Colorado? Plenty of parlay opportunities tomorrow night.
You know what, Gabe? Actually, we're going to get that price at like on my book, it's 225. I would consider that pretty decent for class now, even. Yeah, like I think that's actually a decent price.
245. They're screwing me. They know I'm going to bet on the Dodgers. They made it 245.
SportsGrid's going to have you covered for this NCAA tournament.
That's the Purdue that we know. When it's win or go home, they love to go home.
Tennessee's now in my phony club. They should all get together and drink green tea.
Furman's going to have a chance. That is a team I'm betting on right now.
We are feeling this. You are feeling this at home. The excitement and the atmosphere.
Only on SportsGrid.
It does look like they're looking for a buyout here or a payoff here, trying to get in with DraftKings here, which does make some sense. And we're seeing this a lot with some of these smaller companies.
RSI selling Bet Rivers essentially would be really interesting. They have a bunch of Latin American companies that are countries that are ramping up that they're going to be profitable in. They're profitable now, even with their smaller stake.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Pro League Soccer, powered by Marca.
I would be willing to bet the under 2.5 goals.
Fantasy sports today.
Especially in head-to-head formats in fantasy, I think I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Game time decisions.
People don't like it. I don't really care. I cannot believe anybody is betting the Clippers at this number.
Betting above the rim.
All I've heard you say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Nobody has been more profitable as a dog than Shaka Smart Team.
Winning back-to-back road games. I don't care if they're playing Topeka High. I wouldn't give them any chance whatsoever.
In-game live, prime time.
Back-to-back, just utterly stinker quarters.
In-game live, overtime.
Honestly, as you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We're looking at tomorrow night's card here. And like I said, it's going to be off the hook. You're going to have the Sweet 16 going on tomorrow night. And we'll have late night baseball. Boston is in Seattle. Seattle is another team very similar to the Toronto Blue Jays. I compared these two teams a lot to each other over the years. But if you're Seattle, you can't screw around. You can't be like 4 games under 500 the week before the All-Star break and think, whoa, we'll go on a run again. We always get hot late. No, this is why you put yourself in a position you do all the time. We'll see if Seattle can start the season with an intensity and start the season strong, because you're going to have to, it's going to be a war, man. You're dealing with Texas and you're dealing with the Houston Astros. But I do like the Seattle Mariners tomorrow night to get it done. That's one game that catches my eye. Kurtz, you were talking about parlays. The parlay special tonight tomorrow night. Who the hell is going to be on the Colorado Rockies against Arizona?
Yeah, that is the special tomorrow night.
Every
right?
sports book in the world is going to be pulling for the Rockies tomorrow night, man.
It's only minus 235 straight too. I would think that would be much higher. I'm not going to lay the 235, but I'll take the Diamondbacks and Cleveland. The 235 for Zach Gallen.
What? Here's my bold pick of the night. Give me the Oakland Athletics tomorrow.
You know what? I was looking at Oakland hard too, man.
Give me the Oakland Athletics to win their home opener tomorrow.
You know what? I like that.
In front of 18 people.
Settle down.
What's 135 against Bieber? You got me interested. I'm with you. The wood makes it good. I think Oakland might win.
No, I think they're doing a reverse boycott, guys, Kurtz. It's going to be, there could be people. The reverse.
There could be people.
No, they'll it's the first game. They'll draw some people for this.
No, they'll have people.
I know. Yeah, no, what's your prediction? Let's place a bet. How many people do you think they're going to get? I have not read either. I'm not lying. Like usually I would say, I can. 8,500, you say?
Over. Yeah. Over.